श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की
जय
आनंद कोटि वैष्णवृंद की
जय
नमाचार्य ठाकुर की
जय
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की
जय
गो प्रेमानंदे all Buddhists
Gaur.
and devotees, all Buddhists, you go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो
Om Namo
भगवते
Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Welcome back. Srimad Bhagavatam study class. Canto 1, Creation. Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service. And today's verses 7 to 9, 7, 8 and 9. We'll read verse 7 now. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janetya Shivairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitugam Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janetya Shivairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitugam Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatya Shivairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitugam. Yes. Sharaja Mataji.
श्लोक प्रणम
Sloka
एत्र श्लोक
7.
ओके ओके ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് പേജ് മറിഞ്ഞു പോയി ദ്വിതീയോധ്യായ ആണ് പ്രഥമ സ്കന്ധം ദ്വിതീയോധ്യായ അല്ല പേജ് മറിഞ്ഞു പോയിട്ട് ഓക്കെ വാസുദേവേ ഭഗവതി ഭക്തി യോഗ പ്രയോജിതാ ജനയത്യാശു വൈരാഗ്യം ജ്ഞാനം ച യഥൈഹുതകം ഹരേ കൃഷ്ണ
Hare Krishna. Yes. Jai Shri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitukam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Belinda Maji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Krishna.
वासुदेव भगवती भक्ति योगा प्रयोजिता जनायाति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च याद अहेतुकम। हरे कृष्णा।
Snigdha Maji.
हरे
Snigdha
कृष्णा
Maji.
प्रभु जी।
Hare
ओम
Krishna.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna. Yes.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा।
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Am I not audible?
Yeah, yes. You are clear. You can proceed. You are not hearing what I am saying.
ओम नमो भगवते ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योगः प्रयोजितः जनयत्याशु वैराग्यं ज्ञानं च जदहेतुकम्।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Can read the synonyms also.
Yes Prabhuji, just a minute.
What is the problem?
Yes Prabhuji, I am taking it out actually online.
Okay, right.
Yes Prabhuji, it has come out.
Maybe you can read the next one. Right.
Okay.
Melinda Mataji.
Okay.
Melinda Mataji.
Yes Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Vasudeva unto Krishna,
Bhagavati, unto the personality of Godhead, Bhakti Yoga, contact of devotional service, Prayojitaha, being applied, Janayati, does produce, Ashu, very soon, Vairagyam, detachment, Jnana, knowledge, Cha, and Yat, that which, Ahetukam, causeless. Translation: by rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Purport: those who consider devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to be something like material emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes of transcendental realization are recommended. According to them, bhakti or devotional service of the Lord is meant for those who cannot perform the high grade activities. Generally, it is said that the bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas, and the less intelligent woman class. But that is not the actual fact. The bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti. To achieve the contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna is a great science, and it is open for all living beings, including the Shudras, Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low-born Shudras. So, what to speak of high-class men like the qualified Brahmanas, and the great self-realized kings? The other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc., are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. The principles of knowledge and detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. The whole spiritual process leads to the perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual, and the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to the spiritual activities. Becoming detached from the material things does not mean becoming inert altogether, as men with a poor fund of knowledge think. Nash karma means not undertaking activities that will produce good or bad effects. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of the non essentials does not mean negation of the essential. Similarly, detachment from material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. The bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of the bhakti cult, with the application of positive service to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and he becomes attached to the superior things. Similarly, the bhakti cult, being the supermost occupation of the living being, leads him out of material sense enjoyment. That is a sign of pure devotee. He is not a fool, nor he is engaged in the inferior energies, nor does he have material values. This is not possible by dry reasoning. It actually happens by the grace of the Almighty. In conclusion, one who is a pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of the bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Krishna.
Guruji, may I read the verses?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can read now.
Hare Krishna. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhaktayoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yat Ahaitukam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Verse number 8. Dharma swanishtida pumsam Vishwaksena kadhasuya Nautpadayade yadi hridim Shama eva hi kevalam. Dharma swanishtida pumsam Vishwaksena kadhasuya Nautpadayade yadi hridim Shama eva hi kevalam. Dharma swanishtida pumsam Vishwaksena kadhasuya Nautpadayade yadi hridim Shama eva hi kevalam. Right, Shailaja Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dharmasvanushchita pumsam vishwaksena kada suya notpadayet yadi tidim srama eva hi kevalam. Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Shri Maji.
Hare
Jai Shri
Krishna.
Maji.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. धर्मस्वनुष्ठित पुंसां विश्वक्सेन कथासु या नोत्पादयेद्यदि कृतिं श्रमा एव हि केवलम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Right. It's Uma Maji. Uma Maji can read the verse if you want. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
धर्मस्वनिष्ठित
Pumsam.
नोत्पादयत्येति रतिं श्रम एव हि केवलम्.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Melinda Maji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
धर्मः स्वनुष्ठिताः पुंसां विश्वक्सेन पथासु यः नोत्पदायेद् यदि रतिं श्रम इव हि केवलम्. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Snigdha Maji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. धर्म स्वनिष्ठितः पुंसं विश्वक्सेना कथा सुजः नोत्पादयेत् यदि रतिं श्रम एव हि केवलम्. Shall I read the synonyms?
Yes.
Dharmaha, occupation, swanusthitaha, executed in terms of one's own position, pumsam, of human mankind, Vishwaksena, the personality of Godhead, planetary portion, Kathasu, in the message of Yah, what is, Na, not, Utpadayat, does produce, Yadi, if, Ratim, attraction, Sramaha, useless labor, Eva, only, he, certainly, Kevalam, entirely. Translation: the occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the masses of the personality of Godhead. Purport: there are different occupational activities in terms of man's different conceptions of life. To the gross materialistic, who cannot see anything beyond this gross material body, there is nothing beyond the senses. Therefore, his occupational activities are limited to concentrated and extended selflessness. Concentrated selflessness centers around the
Not selflessness, selfishness.
Selfishness centers around the personal body. This is generally seen amongst the lower animals. Extended selfishness is manifested in human body and centers around the family, society, community, nation, and world with a view to gross bodily comfort. Above these gross materialistic are the mental speculators who hover aloft in the mental spheres, and their occupational duties involve making poetry and philosophy or propagating some ism with the same aim of selfishness limited to the body and the mind. But above the body and mind is the dormant spirit soul, whose absence from the body makes the whole range of bodily and mental selfishness completely null and void. But less intelligent people have no information of the needs of the spirit soul. Because foolish people have no information of the soul and how it is beyond the purview of the body and mind, they are not satisfied in the performance of their occupational duties. The question of the satisfaction of the self is raised herein. The self is beyond the gross body and subtle mind. He is the potent active principle of the body and mind. Without knowing the need of the dormant soul, one cannot be happy simply with emolument of the body and mind. The body and the mind are but superfluous of superfluous outer coverings of the spirit soul. The spirit soul's need must be fulfilled simply by cleansing the cage of the bird. One doesn't satisfy the bird. One must actually know the needs of the bird himself. The need of the spirit soul is that he wants to get out of the limited sphere of material bondage and fulfill his desire for complete freedom. He wants to get out of the covered walls of the greater universe. He wants to see the free light and the spirit. That complete freedom is achieved when he meets the complete spirit, the personality of Godhead. There is a dormant affection of God within everyone. Spiritual existence is manifested through the gross body and mind in the form of perverted affection for gross and subtle matter. Therefore, we have to engage ourselves in the occupational engagement that will evoke our divine consciousness. This is possible only by hearing and chanting the divine activities of the Supreme Lord, and any occupational activity which doesn't help one to achieve attachment for the hearing and chanting the transcendental message of Godhead is said herein to be simply waste of time. This is because other occupational duties, whatever ism they may belong to, cannot give liberation to the soul. Even the activities of the salvationist are considered to be useless because of their failure to pick up the fountainhead of all liberties. The gross materialistic can practically see that his material gain is limited only to time and space, either in this world or in the other. Even if he goes up to the Swargaloka, he will find no permanent abode for his hankering soul. The hankering soul must be satisfied by the perfect scientific process of perfect devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Text 9. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthayo vagalpade nartasya dharmaikandasya kamo labhaya hi smrida. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthayo vagalpade nartasya dharmaikandasya kamo labhaya hi smrida. Dharmasya hi apavargasya नार्थो अर्थायो बगल्पदे नार्थस्य धर्मे कांदस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृदा. शैलजा माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण. धर्मस्य हि अपवर्गस्य नार्थोऽर्थायोपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृताः. हरे कृष्ण.
जय श्री माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. धर्मस्य ह्यापवर्गस्य नार्थोऽर्थायोपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मेकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः. हरे कृष्ण.
माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण. धर्मस्य ह्यापवर्गस्य नार्थोऽर्थायोपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः.
Right. स्निग्धा माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. धर्मस्य हि अपवर्गस्य नार्थोऽर्थायोपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः. हरे कृष्ण.
मिलिंदा माता जी.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
कृष्ण.
धर्मस्य हि वर्गस्य नार्थो अर्थयोपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Can read that synonyms.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Dharmasya, occupational engagement, he certainly, apavargyasya, ultimate liberation, na, not, arthaha, end, artaya, for material gain, Upakalpate is meant for neither artasya of material gain, dharma eka antasya for one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service, kamaha sense gratification, labhaya attainment of, he exactly smritaha is described by the great sages. Translation: all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to the sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Purport: we have already discussed that pure devotional service to the Lord is automatically followed by perfect knowledge and detachment from material existence. But there are others who consider that all different kinds of different occupational engagements, including those of religion, are meant for material gain. The general tendency of an ordinary man in any part of the world is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or any occupational service. Even in Vedic literatures, for all sorts of religious performances, an allurement of material gain is offered, and most people are attracted by such allurements or blessings of religiosity. Why are such so-called men of religion allured by material gain? Because material gain can enable one to fulfill desires, which in turn satisfy sense gratification. This cycle of occupational engagements includes so-called religiosity, followed by material gain, and material gain followed by fulfillment of desires. Sense gratification is the general way for all sorts of fully occupied men. But in the statement of Suda Goswami, as per the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is nullified by the present shloka. One should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. How material gain should be utilized is described as follows. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmedam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Savidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadagamanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajadam Sagamidnadanvidam Samsajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Vadam Sadhana Lalida Shri Vishadam Vidamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabando Jagalpade Gopesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabhanasude Devi Pranamami Priye Vancha kalpaduruvescha prabha sindhuvyeva patitanam pavebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha namo om vishnupadaya krishna preshthaya bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshadani Jaya Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dhara Shri Vasadi Gaurava Vrunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojida Janayat Ashuvairagyam Dhanam Cha Idaitugam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So Suda Goswami has started answering or replying to the questions raised by the sages. The first and second questions were the first and second questions.
Second question is, what is the essence of all the scriptures?
And first one is
What is the absolute truth for
What-
good for general people in general?
Good
what
for
is
the man.
general, and the second one is
Ultimate
the essence of scriptures.
essence of all
Scriptures.
scriptures.
5 and 6 answers this. And six especially the essence. The essence of all scriptures is given as Save Pumsa Parodhamo Yado Bhakti Alokshaje Haitugi Apradihada Yayatma Supasidam. So, Supreme Dharma is rendering devotional service to whom? To Adokshaja Krishna. So, all the scriptures in totality, the essence of which is Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga mean when you say Bhakti, it is Bhakti rendered to Krishna only, the Supreme Personality. That is Bhakti. Others not considered to be Bhakti. So, this is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, chapter 3, verses 22, 6.3.22. Edavan eva logasmin pumsam dharma parasmudha bhakti yogo bhagavadi tan nama grihanadivi. This is the only means for attachment, the final perfection of life. Edavan eva logasmin dharma parasmudha. It's the only way of achieving the final perfection of life. So that is excluding all other processes. So you can see that only bhakti is supreme. All other processes are exempted or rejected, you can say. Why it be the whole Bhagavatam is all about that only? Why that we'll see later. I mean, as we go along. So this bhakti should be ahaitugi. Ahaitugi means it arises without a cause. Mixed bhakti is excluded. Mixed bhakti is not pure devotion, which is not ahaitugi. Because in mixed bhakti, there is always a material desire, or at least gross material desire or subtle material desire. For the karmis, it is gross material desires, and for these jnanis, it is a subtle desires. So this cannot be said to be ahaitugi. The cause of devotee's mercy is but bhakti present in the heart of devotee. So bhakti is a cause of bhakti. Bhakti is a cause of bhakti. So therefore, bhakti is said to be without any cause. That means bhakti is not dependent on any other factors. It is self-manifested. And this bhakti cannot be prevented by anything. Apradihada. This is not prevented by anything. Apradihada. That is Kabir Deva. Kabir Deva mentions that in verse number 3, 29.11 says that just as water of Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, floats towards the Supreme Lord. Mad guna shrudi matrena mai sarva guhayase manogadir avichanna yada ganga bhaso ivambuda. Ambuda, who means ocean. Like Ganges water flows to the oceans without and overcoming any obstacles in the way. Same way, the devotion service directed or praising or glorifying Krishna's name, form, activities, leelas, etc. cannot be stopped by anything else. So Rupa Goswami, he says, Sarvada dhamsa rahidam sadyavi dhamsa karane. Sarvada dhamsa rahidam. Dhamsa rahidam means without destruction. Dhamsa rahidam, dhamsa means destruction. Dhamsa rahidam means without destruction. Sadi abhi dhamsa karane. Even though there may be causes for destruction, still it is undestroyed. That means bhakti can overcome any obstacle. Bhakti cannot be stopped or destroyed by anything. So that is one. This supreme bhakti is the one that gives ultimate pleasure to the soul. Yayatma suprasidati. So this is the essence of all scriptures. So this next verse, who is this Adokshaja, is mentioned. This is our shloka. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Janedi Ashuvairagyam. Because this kind of bhakti, which is concentrating on the form, name, leelas of pastime, which cause complete disgust to inferior objects. Bhagavad Gita is mentioned as param drishtva nivartade. If you develop a superior taste, then naturally the inferior taste will be diminished or destroyed altogether. Bhakti is endowed, yojida, in an excellent manner with para. Para means pra. Bhakti yoga prayojida. Yojida means endowed. Pra means pradarshana. Pradarshana means excellent manner. It is endowed with excellent manner. Like, for example, you have the prahalada means pradishta rubena ahlada. The definition of word prahalada is pradishta rupena ahlada. So pradarshana. Pradarshana means an excellent manner. So this bhakti is endowed in an excellent manner with what? With the rasas. Like dasya, sakya, and other loving motions. So this is with prayojana only, no separate endeavor for attaining knowledge and detachment ought not necessary in the practice of bhakti. So when you practice bhakti, automatically jnana and vairagya will be quickly produced. Bhagavatam in the 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 42 verse, 11.2.42 is a very beautiful verse. Srila Prabhupada recites this very frequently. He said that Bhakti Pareshanubhavo Viraktir Anyatra Chaisha Triga Egakala Pravadyamanasya Yadashnadasyus Tushti Pushti Kshudapayo Anugasam. Bhakti Pareshanubhava
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, 11.2.42.
42.
Okay.
11.2.42.
Okay,
So,
Prabhuji. Thank
three things are mentioned here. Bhakti, Paresha Anubhava means experiencing the Supreme Lord. Para Isha Anubhava. Para Isha Anubhava, Paresha Anubhava. And then that Virakti Anyatra, detachment from other things. These three things, Triga Egakala, happens simultaneously. Triga Egakala happens simultaneously. For whom? Pravadyamanasya, one who is surrendered to Krishna. One is surrendered to Krishna. These three things, Bhakti, Pareshana Bhava, Virakti Anyatra, Asakti Krishna. So that's why we are making very clear thing. You cannot live without Asakti. You have to be attached somewhere. So when you are totally attached to Krishna, you are totally detached to other things. Virakti Anyatra. It happens simultaneously for the person who is surrendered to Krishna, and he is giving a simile or for this it is given that Yatha Ashnadha, one who is eater, Tushti Pushti Shudapayo, pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger. Tushti means pleasure, Pushti means nourishment, Chud Apayo means freedom from hunger. With every bit, each bite, anugasam, with every bite, for the eater who takes food, three things, tushti, pushti, and chudapaya. This happens. So, you can say that there is sometimes objective. If one possesses knowledge, one attains liberation. One attains knowledge, one attains liberation. But this knowledge is ahetugi. She mentioned is yet ahetugam. This knowledge is yad ahetugam. Why ahetugam? Because the purpose of jnana is liberation. Mumukshu, one who desires mumukshu, liberation, he is on the path of jnana. But this jnana about the complete knowledge of Supreme Personality is devoid of the goal of liberation. Because devotees are not interested in devotion, in jnana, so liberation. Thus, jnana hetua means knowledge without goal of liberation. Knowledge without goal of liberation. So, the liberation, in the case of liberation, merging happens. There are 6 kinds of liberation. Of this Sayujya, we have discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. Sayujya means merging. Merging in Supreme Personality, the Brahma Jyoti. In the case of devotees, this does not take place. In 4th canto also, you will find a similar verse. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Samahida Sadrichrinna Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Janayasyadi. So this kind of bhakti, what starts as a sadhana bhakti, by regularly chanting, hearing the glories of Krishna, the Namadha Marga, and then ripens to prema. Now, does it bhakti that undergoes any change? No, it's not like that. It's not like that. See, it is like a mango. Mango is unripe mango is there, and the ripe mango is also there. Mango remains the same, but it ripens. Same way, bhakti starts as sadhana bhakti and then transforms to prema bhakti. Just like a person who is growing up, you have seen that. He knows when Yadas and the that case we have seen recently that baby, then boy, and then young man, then old man. The change is there, but the results of that cause. This is not the conditions of cause. Actually, it's not conditions of cause. Since the person remains the same. But in case of like say earth, it transforms to pot. The cotton transforms to shirt or cloth, or uncooked rice transforms to cooked rice. In that case, there is transformation. But in case of bhakti, ripe mango is the same. Mangoes as one first is unripe stage and second is the ripe stage. That's all. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport says that normally there is a concept that bhakti is something emotional. It is meant for people, Shudras, Vaishyas, and women in general. Because other activities mentioned in Vedas, like sacrifice, charity, austerity, yajnadana taba, that you'll see in the 17th chapter and 18th chapter, you'll find details of that. Yajnadana taba in 14th chapter and then 18th chapter. Sorry, 17th chapter and 18th chapter, not 14, 17 and 18. Bhakti, like Srila Prabhupada says, it is meant for both the sublime and the neophyte. For the neophyte is a sadhana bhakti, beginning stage. In the beginning stage, we chant names and then we, fast for Ekadashi and all that. Last Ekadashi, did you all fast?
No,
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji.
Yes, yes. You should do.
I
Ekadashi,
didn't.
observe. You should observe Ekadashi by fasting from cereals, pulses and grains. Pulses and grains. And more important than that, this is ritual. More important than that, you should chant 25 rounds. If you see my post in the group, every Ekadashi will mention that. First, I will say
Yeah,
chant 25 rounds, and then you do the austerity. Austerity is fasting from grains and pulses. In
grains.
Kerala, the system is you fast for Ekadashi, you don't take rice, but you will take wheat, and all that. But this is not the proper method. Proper method is you should abstain from grains as well as pulses. You can take lots of things, other things. But
In
thing is that
Odisha, in Odisha also, Prabhuji, it is they are only bend rice, but they are taking the ragi and wheat and
wheat,
other.
rava and
Yes,
all that.
yes, yes, yes.
Here also it's the same.
Yeah.
Austerity is meant for that. Sometimes only once in a while you should do austerity. But the best austerity is that you should take only prasadam. There are persons who are doing a lot of austerities, but if you accept this principle, you take only prasadam, then that is the greatest austerity. For so devotees who are traveling, this is a real test. So we have to carry our prasadam with us for 1 or 2 days when you're going. You pack some dry prasadam, and then you go to places. You should be, suppose you're employed person, you're going for long journey, then it will be problem. What we do at that time, we suggest at that time is that you take only rice and curd only. Don't take too many masalas, too many sabjis and all that. If it's cooked, means it will definitely onion and garlic will be there. So in that case, better you take only rice and curd. But this austerity is mentioned, but above this austerity is bhakti. So these high grade activities like sacrifice, dana, yajna, tapa is only corollary factors which follows a pure and scientific bhakti cult. It is open for everyone. Bhakti is open for the lower strata. Lower strata means not the society ways, the beginners. Lower strata in the spiritual ladder. The lower strata in the spiritual ladder up to highest point. So this principle of jnana and vairagya is detachment from material attachment, material affection. Now, Srila Prabhupada says that being detached from material attachment or material activities doesn't mean you become inert. You can now be inert. Salt can now be inert. Yes, Snigdhamaji, yes, Maji, yes.
Prabhuji, what is the difference between neophytes and sublime?
A neophyte means beginner.
Okay.
Neophyte means a beginner, one who has just entered the bhakti field or just started this bhakti. Sublime means who has reached the higher stage.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Right. So when you say you are becoming detached from material things or material activities, doesn't mean that you become inert. In Bhagavad Gita 3.5, it is said that na kaschit kshanamavi jadu tishtadi agamayat, na kaschit kshanamavi jadu tishtadi agamayat, karishehi avashya sarve gunajair, sarve pragdijay gunai, sarve pragdijay gunai. So the Mayavadi will say that this is prakriti, because of gunas only one is active. The shloka says, na kashit kshanamabhi jadu tishtati agarma karishye karishide idi hi avasha prakriti sarve prakriti gunai. The gunas only is activating, is only inspiring the instigating the activities. Yes, gunas are instigating activities because it is influencing the activity, but the activity itself is coming from the life, and life is soul. The matter is inert. Matter is actually inert, jada. The soul is jiva. So activity originates from jiva only, not from prakriti. So when you say we are attached to material activities, doesn't mean that you become inert. You become very active in the spiritual sphere, in the bhakti cult. Negation does not mean negation of positive. Here, Srila Prabhupada raising very important point. Negation does not mean negation positive. Negation of positive. Here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about form. Negation of non-essentials does not mean negation of essential. Similarly, detachment material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. Three things are there. The positive side is spiritualism, pertaining to Atma. The negative side is pertaining to matter. So when you say you stop material activities, doesn't mean you stop the spiritual activities. No. You're getting detached from material activities. You are getting more and more attached to spiritual activities. You are getting detached from material forms, but you are developing attraction for the spiritual form. And spiritual form is Krishna only, Sachidananda. Shama Sundara form. Dvibhuja Shama Sundara form is the perfect transcendental form that you can ever see. So this strong sense Srila Prabhupada, therefore, service to positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and becomes attached to superior things. Similarly, the bhakti cult, being supermost occupationally being, leads him to material, out of material sense enjoyment. Because now the devotee is finding more pleasure. Slowly his pleasure for increase, rendering devotional service increases, and as and when it increases, the material pleasure goes down. And this is not possible by dry logic or reasoning. It happens by the grace of Krishna. Grace of Krishna as well as grace of devotees. If you say that Krishna is picking up some person, that means the charge may be there that Krishna is partial. The pure devotees also doesn't distinguish between different types, for he is equal to everyone. But Madhyadhikari, he makes a distinction between the Supreme Personality, saints, demons, and innocent. As we go along, we know this Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari classification is same. Madhyamadhikari is a person who instills bhakti to Krishna only, and he because of his instructions, you get away from demonic natures. You don't associate with others who are inimical to bhakti. So simply by endowed with knowledge and detachment does not mean that he is a person who is familiar with bhakti also. A person who is into bhakti, who is practicing bhakti, for him automatically detachment and jnana occurs. So that is why bhakti is a supermost occupation. Save pumsa paro dharma, you are reaching the point, because it's supermost. Then what is other dharma is what about? What is other dharma? That is given next verse. Dharma sunishtita pumsam vishwaksena kadasuya na utpade yadi radim shama eva hi kevalam. This dharma is pertaining to Varnashrama dharma. The dharma which this verse speaks is pertaining to dharma in the Varnashrama system. The dharma of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, etc. Why this is not considered Parodharma? Because it says that this dharma, Varnashrama dharma, when this does not produce affection or love for Krishna, then it is useless. The effort only is useless. Shama eva hi kevalam. Karmana priti loge. Normally, karmas, activities, one goes to Pudurloka, the activities. It says, Brihat Aranya Upanishad says. So, Narada, the fourth canto, he says, what is the use of service of taking 3 births of Semen, Upanayanam, initiation? Semen means Shaukra, Savitra means receiving the holy thread, and Yajnika means taking initiation. Karma bhi trei prokte pumso bhi vidhushya. If it doesn't attract, what is the use of ritual acts mentioned by us? What is the use of lifespan of a devata for human? All these things, which may look very, very attractive, having a long lifespan and receiving all those Vedic initiations, everything is there. What is the use of yoga, Sankhya, Sannyasa, study of Vedas, other auspicious acts, which Lord does not give realization of himself? You may be in all the, but when Lord is not giving you self-realization, what is the point in having all these things? So, if these activities are not directed for the pleasure of Krishna, ultimately these activities become useless. It is neither good in this life nor in the next life. So, the word yadi is used here. Now, pade yadi radim. Bhakti should happen by yadrichya, without any provocation or anything like that, any planned activity. It happens in a person, the attraction for Krishna's topics. All of the dharmas, other than that, undertaken as one's duties, even if they are nishkama, does not produce attraction, rati. Rati means attraction. So, Srila Prabhupada says, he is explaining this Vishwanath Chakravarti's definition. He is defining or expanding his meaning. There are 4 concepts like karmis, jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. Karmis, jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. Karmis are people who are very selfish in the materialist ends. They are very selfish. And selfishness is divided into categories: concentrated and diluted. Concentrated selfishness means attraction for a bruised body made of three dhadus. Three dhadus, kaba vittabada. Yasyatma buddhe kunape tudhaduge. Yasyatma buddhe kunape tridhaduge. The person who accepts his body as gross body made of three gunas, three dhadus, as his self. This is Atma Buddhi, one who considers himself as a gross body made of three dhadukas. Sudhi kalatradishu bhauma ijjade. And his expansion, bodily expansions like wife and children, to be his own, and the place of his birth to be the most worshipable. This is expanded and diluted selfishness. Gross attraction is limited to very lower kinds of species like animals and human beings who are in the category of animals. The subtle activities, subtle attraction or selfishness is in the mental platform. So Srila Prabhupada says some philosophers, some poets, artists, painters, philosophers, all these people are on the mental level, the mental plane. And they propagate some isms, but ultimately these are selfish oriented. So all this range of all activities pertaining to body and mind are basically null and void if it does not generate love for the lotus feet of Krishna.
Prabhuji, what do you mean by ism?
And by
Ism, 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 what is
ism. You concord your own philosophy. Ism, like communism, capitalism, philanthropism.
Okay. Yes, got it.
Okay. What people fail to understand is the principle of life is spirit only. And the body and mind are superfluous covering of the self. But when you are concentrating on the body and mind, the example of the cage and the bird is given here, you are focusing more on the cage and not on the bird. So those activities where you are concentrating on the body only create material bondage only. But the spirit soul, he wants to get out of this material covering. That is actually suffocating. If you are a spiritually oriented person, you will find these material activities or material coverings so suffocating that somehow you want to get out of this. Material talks and all that is compared as puna charvida charvananam. Chewing the chewed. Suppose you're taking sugar cane, chew it for some time, and then again you chew it, then again you chew it. Becomes dung actually, but still come on and continue to chew that. Same way, you're going on talking about the material things. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gramya Bhasha Shunle, Gramya Bhasha na Shunle. Gramya Bhasha na Shunle. Don't hear material talks pertaining to our children, our relatives, our country, and all those things. This is material choice. We are talking the same thing only. Or can another way, another explanation is that you are following a lifestyle, and then your next generation is also following some same style. Next generation also saying the same style. Like you're getting educated, you're getting a job, you're getting married, then you're raising a family, then you get being old, and then you die. Same way, next generation is also doing the same thing. This is chewing the chew. Puna charvida charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj says, Puna charvida charvanana. That does not awaken the dormant love for Krishna in us. Every living entity, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually have the dormant, because since we are soul, naturally we are part of super soul, there is a love inside us, and which is in a dormant state now. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha, Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha, Karya Udaya. Krishna Bhakti is Nitya, it is there. Shravanadi Chitta Shuddhe Karya Udaya. Shravanadi Chitta Shuddhe. When you start listening and hearing, you're starting listening, hearing, then Chitta Shuddhe, your conscience become pure. Karaya Udaya. Then that dormant spirit, the love for Krishna, is awakened. So this can be awakened only when you develop a taste for hearing this. In Varnashram system, if you are not doing this, Naishkamim Abhi Achyuta Bhavarjidam. Intelligent people seeing that there will be no result with attraction for these topics, perform dharma that produce affection for topics of Lord. So people who are intelligent, we see that simply by discharging Varnashram system, Varnashram dharma, if it is not producing the love for Krishna, that is waste only. Like for example, if you are doing a farming, agriculture, previously all lands belonged to king only. Unless you have loyalty to king, you will not be able to do agriculture properly. You may work, but it will not produce even the material resource also. Even the desired material resource also will not be found. Or suppose you are interested in the fruits of labor without having fruits of agriculture, without having loyalty to the king. Then that is also become a waste. Shama evahi kevalam. So idea is that we should understand that the system of Varnashrama is so ordained that it has to develop a love for Krishna. That's when 18th chapter, when Krishna is describing the Varnashrama system, the duties of Brahmana, Vaishnava, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, as it says, Yada pravarti bhudanam yena sarvamidam tadam sukarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim mindari manava. The perfection of this work, the perfection of the dharma in Varnashrama system is that when it is when it's done with the aim of satisfying Krishna. It is not that then all this effort is only wasted. So even Nishkama Karma also, if you do the Nishkama Karma, if it is not generating love of Krishna, on the Jnana also is not good. Nishkamim Abhi Achyuta Bhavarjidam Na Shobhade Jnana Malanjanam. In this same canto 1.5.12. Just as affection for king arises only because of attachment to agriculture, so attraction to topics of Lord arises only because attachment to Varnashrama Dharma and its material results. Therefore, that attachment to topics of Lord is not genuine. If you are interested that this Varnashram system, to improve the quality of Varnashram system, if you are trying to please Krishna, the core of the Varnashram system is what? Purushartha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moha, Karma, Kama, Moksha. So we'll come to the next verse, will come. The core of Dharma in Varnashram system is four. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Now, if you are doing doing these activities to please Krishna with the object of improving the Artha and Kama, that also Shama eva hi kevalam. So that means it should be unmotivated. The relationship should be unmotivated. Prahlad Maharaj says that I am your unmotivated servant and you are my eternal servant, eternal master. So there is no need for being anything other than master and servant. Narasimha Bhagavan is offering wounds. You take whatever, Prahlad Maharaj, my dear Prahlada, I am so pleased with you. You take whatever boons you want from me. Then Prahlad says, I am not a Vyanik. Vyanik means merchant, trader. This is not a merchant transaction between us. This is actually our Swarupa. I am your eternal servant and you are my eternal master. So we have no other relationship. This is our natural position. In that aspect, when you are rendering your Varnashram system, then that is perfect. So next verse explains it in detail. Dharmasya apavargasya na arto vagalpade na artasya dharma ekandasya kamo labhaya hismridaha. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should now be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should now use material gains to cultivate sense gratification. So Karmis, Jnanis and Yogis and Bhaktas say, he said, Dharma arthasya kamasya kim artham cha sevade. So can Dharma be not used for any other purpose? The result of performance is Dharma is Artha. Dharma, next step is Artha. When you are doing Dharma, you are doing your system Dharma, then next comes what? Material gains, isn't it? Material gains, Artha. And from Artha, the next result is material acquisition, is desire, Kama. For next term, Artha from comes Kama. And the result of Kama is a pleasure of senses. Yes, why Kama is there? Let's say it gives a lot of pleasure to your senses. So when senses pleasure is there, when sense pleasure, you are indulging sense pleasure, what happens? Again, one executes the same sequence starting from Dharma, Artha and Kama, because you don't go to moksha. When the senses pleasure is that most goal, again this cycle of Dharma, Artha and Kama will revolve on. In 9th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, you'll find this. Evam Trayi Dharma Abanya. This Trayi Dharma means these three. Dharma, Artha and Kama. But for other than karmis, jnanis, yogis and bhaktas, there is slight difference. For jnanis, they control their mind and senses, yama, niyama, etc. For bhakta is chanting and hearing. Because these are basically advanced spiritualists who understand that examining the nature of material gain, examining the nature of material gain. What is that? What is that? The cycle again. What is the nature of material gain? Again, you come into the same cycle of dharma, artha, and kama. So they are inclined towards apavarga. Apavarga means opposite of pavarga. Pavarga means material life. Pa, pa, bha, bha, ma. Pavarga, pa, pa, bha, ma. Pa means parishrama. Bha means bhala. Fena. Bhapha. Ba means bivardi. Bha means bhaya. Ma means mrityu. You have this vargas, no? Kaka, gaga, nga, cha, 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 vargas. Like that, pavarga means material. Pa means parishrama, intense effort to gain something. But when you do so much effort, ultimately you find that you're making so much effort, you get exhausted. Like a horse which is running continuously, the foam comes out of its mouth. That is called fena. Pa, fena, form. Then after doing all this effort, you find that is actually there is no gain at all. Basically, it becomes useless. So bibarti, ba, pa, ba, then bha. Then the fear takes over. What will happen now? What I have done, I have not gained anything except I have lost my energy and a lot of things I've lost. Now what is the future? What will happen? Bha. And finally M, mrityu. Papa bhava. So that is a pavarga. Abhavarga, that is material life. Abhavarga means a spiritual life. So these people who are spiritually inclined, they will not accept this material gain as a goal. Na arthaya arthogalpade. Na artha arthovagalpade. Na artha means material gains. Next artha means the goal. See, you find two uses, no? Artha, two uses. Dharma is abhagarasya. Na artha arthaya vagalpade. The first artha means material gains. Second artha means goal. So the persons who are in the apavarga state, that is persons who are spiritualists, they don't fix the material gains as a target, as a goal. So apavarga is basically liberation for jnani and yogi and prema bhakti for devotee. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 19th chapter, verses 19 and 20, it says, in Bharatavarsha, many destinations are there, heavens, human, and hellish, are prescribed to all people because people take birth according to actions in Sattva, Raja, and Tama. 4th canto, in this 14th chapter, you'll find the results of engaging in the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Udam gacchati Sattvastha, Madhye tishtade Rajasa, Jaganyadhirno, Adho gacchati Tamasa. People who are in Sattva-guna, they are elevated to higher planets like Swarga. People who are in Rajoguna, they remain in the same Bhor Loga, and people who are in Tamogun, they descend to hellish planets. So these different destinations, according to these Sattva, Raja, Tamas, all these goals are prescribed for the self, according to quality of actions. But in case of bhakti, it is topmost. Parishit Maharaja's intelligence was fixed, although in Abhavarga, it is actually attaining the lotus feet of Lord Soul, of Lord only. Skanda Purana says that bhakti which is fixed on you is called liberation. That means people who are bhaktas, when their consciousness is fixed on Krishna, automatically liberation is achieved. That means any extraneous effort for getting liberated or achieving liberation is not necessary for bhakta. Just by simply rendering service, but just simply putting our consciousness to Krishna, you automatically achieve liberation. So Srila Prabhupada says, this general tendency of ordinary man, any part of the world, is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or any other occupational service. Yes. What is it in it for me? The first question that a person will ask, what is in it for me? What is the benefit in that for me? This is the mentality of karmis. But Srimad Bhagavatam discourages that. Even in Vedic society also, in like a yajna or all that, if you conduct yajna, the Brahmins are given dakshina. That is a material gain, actually. But that should not be the goal. That should not be the goal. Because once this dakshina is a material gain is there, that enables one to fulfill the desires. Once you get material gains, it enables you to fulfill your material desires. This follows the sense gratification. But people who are spiritually occupied, spiritually bent, they should not do that, especially one who is dharma ekandasya. Dharma ekandasya, one is the engaged ultimate occupation service. The ultimate occupation service should never use material gains to cultivate sense gratification. That is what we are speaking. Suppose Brahmana is rendering yajnas. Yajnas are actually meant for satisfaction of Krishna. Now, the person who is doing this should only focus on that only, in yajna only, how to please Krishna. He may receive some dakshina after that, but he should not be used for sense gratification because he has received some dakshina, which is material gain. He should not use it for sense gratification. And what he should do is mentioned in the next verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Any clarification needed?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
No clarification, no doubt.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Thank you. Right, Hare Krishna. So start chanting slowly.
Okay.
You have to start chanting. You can get one of the devotees was asking for beats. I forgot to center. So many in the groups are slightly taking interest for chanting. Understanding that you are devotee, a part of Krishna, then you have to start develop interest for rendering service to him. And Kali Yuga, chanting the holy name is the best service. By the way, Melinda Maji, any improvement in your quality of chanting?
Yes, Prabhuji, at least I'm conscious about those factors that you mentioned in the last class, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Your goal should be that 17.16. That is Manaprasada Samutyam. Because always keep the mind in a state of pleasantness. And that can be achieved by chanting. But the mind is restless. At that time, use 13.6.26, catch it. And if you want to catch it, you have to be alert. And how to be alert? Then you have to classify your thoughts, categorize your thought. Vipaksha, Apradipatti, Kashaya, and Rasavada. First is Laya. Vipaksha, Apradipatti, Kashaya, and Rasavada. This is the 5 areas where your mind is deviating. Now, if you are very alert, you can find this. Then immediately you can take catch the mind and bring it back. For that, your listening should be very good. You should be very rapt listener.
Prabhuji.
You'll improve because
Yes.
the desire is there.
Prabhuji, and also I'm only able to do 8 rounds for some reason. I'm trying to do 16 rounds, and also I'm trying to give up, tea, coffee, and onion garlic, but somehow it's not happening.
Are we working?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So working means, and especially in Bangalore, means traveling also takes some time, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Traffic and all. So morning till
So it should be what you suggest that I suggest you write down your routine. I suggest that to every devotee. What time you get up, how you allocate your duties and routine chores and all the things. How much time it takes for you to get ready, how much time it takes for cooking. You're married also?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Children?
Yes, Prabhuji, but he's 16 years.
Huh?
He's 16 years. My son is 16 years, so he's grown up.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's grown up. So don't have to have that much.
Yes.
Then you just sit down and just write down the normal daily routine what you're doing. Then sometimes you can find some time, extra time.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Like what time you get up, at what time you go to sleep, and in between what you do. When your case, when you're working, takes a lot of time, but may not be able to reach it down. But regarding this one, tea, coffee, and all that, it will slowly go off, no problem.
Actually, I don't like it personally, but what happens is when you go to office and you're sitting with everybody, so they invite you for coffee, and then you tend to be a part of the group, and then
No, that is not necessary. Told them politely, very politely and gently that I cannot take drink. I'm not. First of all, I don't like the taste, and because of this involvement, I do not take it also. That you can be slightly firm in this. Because this feeling is that you feel that you are part of society and you have to please the society, society members. That's not necessarily required. Your intention, your activity is only to please Krishna only.
yeah.
Not that you are going to be rude with others. It's not necessary to be rude, but you can be polite. Like somebody, when you go to preaching or that, somebody offers something, I tell them very frankly that I take only prasadam only. Please don't misunderstand me. I like the love with which you are offering. I accept. I offer that love. I accept the love. But since it is not offered, I will not be able to take this.
Mhm.
People will slowly understand. Be very frank with them. Be very frank with them. Be polite and frank. They'll accept. You don't have to be in the kind of mental this one that if you don't do that, you not be part of the team and all that. No, it's unnecessary.
Yeah,
Should
yeah,
not be there.
yeah. And onion garlic is like it's cooked in my home, so everybody eats it. So I
You
also
are doing the cooking, no?
no, Prabhuji. Actually, I have a cook.
You have a cook also.
Yeah.
Then don't tell her don't cook it. Don't buy this thing. Then what's the point of cooking that?
Yeah, I don't know. It just does not happen. Maybe it's all in the mind. When onions are not there. My husband also and my son, they like those gravy with onion base and all. Yeah. So I don't know how to start it.
Okay, if they are interested in doing that, but you don't take it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Since you are a cook, you can cook for yourself for small things without garlic. Same thing we can make without garlic also. Like garlic, sorry, what is that? Onion. Instead of onion, you can use cabbage. What we do is you are using cabbage only. Slice it very nicely, and it's like onion only.
Mhm. Yeah. Let me try that.
These you can easily replace it. You will not know, understand, you not know the taste also.
Mhm. Yeah. I'll try that, Prabhuji.
Next will come out of it. Slowly try to come out of this.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
పతితానం పావని వైష్ణవేభ్య నమో నమః అనంతకోటి వైష్ణవులకి జై శ్రీల ప్రభుపాద గౌర ప్రేమ